My business made over $100,000 in December alone. I've been able to do that by flipping name brand products from websites like Walmart on Amazon. And I've been teaching people just like you to do it as well here on YouTube. My next goal is to reach $200,000 in a month as fast as possible without making things more complicated to run for me, right? So the easiest way to scale a business like Amazon FBA is by injecting more money into the business. But just because it is easy does not mean that it's simple to implement. And it is not how I am actually going to scale my business this year. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 3 key areas I'm going to focus on to scale my business this year. But how would you go about scaling a business from $100,000 a month to $200,000 a month? You can just keep things the same way and just increase the amount of products you buy, but it's not necessarily the smartest thing to do, because it would mean that if you are selling cell phones, for example, right, it would mean that instead of buying 10 Samsung phones every week, you can buy 10 Sony phones and 10 Samsung phones in a week, right? You will effectively double the units you sell every single week. However, this would require to double your spending, which means that if I was actually to do that, if I'm currently spending $50,000 a month in inventory, I would need to double that, which is not easy to do, right? But what if you could keep the same spending and still double your sales? If instead of buying 10 Samsung phones, that, by the way, nobody wants them, nobody likes Samsungs, right? It sucks. Android sucks. Let's just say it, right? Instead of doing that, you buy 10 iPhones that sells way faster, all right? So fast that instead of selling out in 1 week, you would sell out in 3 days. You would double your monthly sales with the same amount of spending, and you'll be able to reinvest your profit way faster. And by spending, this is not what I meant exactly. I meant by the same amount of capital invested in your business. And this is why I'm going to focus heavily on sales velocity, the speed at which my inventory sells, instead of focusing on return on investment. I've been going for return on investment first for so long, and I just realized not too long ago, this Q4 actually, that the real way to scale is in fact to focus on sales velocity. But one thing that you need to know is that if we sell inventory by using the FBA program, which is Fulfillment by Amazon, it will never be possible to sell out in 3 days like on the previous example. The reason why is simple. You need to send your inventory to Amazon, and it already takes 5 to 7 days for it to become available, right? So the only way to cut the waiting time is to do what we call FBM, where you ship the item yourself to the customer. But if you travel a lot, like I do, this is not something that you can do all year. I can only do that part of the year. Except that actually, yes, you can, even if you live outside of the US with a prep center. So you might already know what a prep center is. You can actually do FBM with a prep center as well. And the second thing that I'm going to focus on is to shorten the time it takes for my items to become available by starting to do FBM with my prep center, as I said earlier, right? So that way I can get my money back way faster and reinvest the profit super fast, so I can grow my business faster. So I can pretty much increase my spending without investing more money into the business, because I just reduce my cash flow cycle, and it's just way faster to spend my money and get the money back. Outsourcing is key. Your time is limited, and this is something that you need to understand. Imagine being able to duplicate yourself, so you can do 3 things at the same time, right? That's pretty much what you can do with a prep center, and that's why the third area I'm going to focus on is actually another thing that I am going to outsource. I am going to hire a company to manage my returns, because you may not realize it, but when you sell thousands of items a month, you get a ton of returns. And it takes a lot of space, and it takes a lot of time to go through your returns, inspect them, doing all that and release them if they can be sold, or just throw them away, right? But all these strategies that I'm going to apply next year may not apply to you. Going from 0 to 100,000 a month require a way different approach. It's not the same strategy at all. So watch this video to learn how I was able to scale to $100,000 this year.